Hey, hey. All right, I wanted to hop on here and I wanted to talk to you today about something that, quite frankly, I still struggle a little bit talking about. And that is simply just because this is my journey and these were all my thoughts that I had around this. But it is the view or the lenses that you are looking at the world through, that you're viewing people through, that you're viewing experiences through, that you are viewing everything through. And I have just found this to be a really interesting topic for me because of my own healing journey and the things that I've experienced along this path. And we are all shaped by the experiences that we've had, as well as the conditioning that we were raised in. And very rarely do we take the time to take a step back and reclaim that will of our own lives. We begin living on autopilot. I feel like we move out of the house. So you're born and raised till you're 18, right? And you're in the house, you're hearing all the conversations that your parents are having. If your parents choose to go to church, then you're raised learning all of those beliefs and being conditioned by it. And then when you move out, even if something like feels off, you don't love it, it's not quite right, you just keep going in it because it's quote unquote the right thing to do. And for me on my journey, I experienced a lot of this with the church that I was raised in. Now, I already talked about the discomfort I have talking about this just because there are still so many in my life who are active participants. And for them, this is what they've needed. And this is what they enjoy doing and going. And they want to do that and make that choice for them. But for my experience through it all, it really caused me to get this pinhole view of the world. And I had this lens on, and I had a very tiny little clear picture on what we were taught people should act like, things that we should do, how we should behave, what we should wear, just all these things. And I became a very judgmental person because of it. It's really hard for me to admit that, because I have gone so far. And don't get me wrong, like I'm human, like I'm not perfect, and I still do make quick judgments on some people that I see. And then I take a step back and I'm like, wait a second, like, why did I do that? So I'm not perfect, but I was way worse when I was trying to do all of the quote unquote right things and be a good girl. And I was just trying to obtain this standard that just, it simply isn't possible. It's not possible to be perfect. We are human, we have human brains. And I truly believe that we are all doing the best that we can. And we all have good intentions behind our actions, even if it doesn't feel that way sometimes. So the view that I began noticing I was having was that if you had tattoos, if you drank or smoked, you were a quote unquote bad person. And it's kind of funny how the universe, God, whatever you believe, can flip that script really quick and throw a situation into your life. Now, yes, I do know the actions that caused this quote unquote consequence, but I got pregnant a few months before I turned 19, and my world flipped upside down. What I thought I was trying to obtain and attain in my life was now no longer possible because of decisions that I had made. These were my consequences. And at that time, the leader in our ward told us that it was a sin next to murder. We had to go through the repentance process and all of this. And I am just here to tell you there was so much shame for me around that. And I kind of felt like that was my first step to waking up at how damaging some of these beliefs were for me personally. But I never dared step outside of those lines because I didn't want to suffer whatever consequences might come. I didn't want to disappoint people in our lives. And let's just fast forward a few years. This is where my husband actually really struggled going to our church. He began struggling a lot longer, way before I did. And I knew in my mind that it wasn't for me. It wasn't what I wanted to continue doing, but I kept going for a few years because I thought it was the right thing to do. And we had kind of hit this point where we just gave the kids the option. Do you want to stay home with dad or do you want to come with mom? I am just I feel like when we try to push our kids into something, that's when they rebel. That's when they get sneaky. That's how it was for me is I got sneaky and did the forbidden things. And I just don't want that for my kids. I want to keep that open and I don't want them to get this skewed perspective on people and judge them before they truly get to know them. So slowly, yeah, it all began feeling like it wasn't right. It wasn't a good fit for us and our family. And when we moved to a new town, we took the big step out of it. And I truly believed my business was going to fail. I thought maybe I was going to get struck by lightning, get in a car wreck, something. I just really thought that we were like damned to hell. Like, I just thought it was going to be so bad. And this path actually has led me back to finding me again. I was no longer living my life striving for that unobtainable standard. And I regained my knowing that I am a good person. God knows my heart, and that's all that matters. I don't have to go to a church every Sunday to prove that. I don't have to, I don't know, do certain things. I mean, I'm not a crazy person that's like going out partying and just causing harm in all these people's lives or anything like that. And so this is really when my obstructed view of that horizon began to clear. And I started to truly notice my love for people growing so much. Some of the best people I know, we met on this journey. And if I would have continued viewing the world through that old dusty lens, in the way that it was causing me to place so much judgment on others based on their covers, like judging a book by its cover. I was judging people by their covers. I was judging them if they were smoking, and I needed to allow my heart to open up. And I do feel like my experience with getting pregnant and the whole mess that was going through all of that, that also humbled me a little bit. And that also showed me that I am no better than anyone else, that I make mistakes just like everyone else, and that we as people, we're human and nobody is perfect. Nobody is perfect. We should not strive for perfection. We should just do the best that we can with what we know and continuously just strive to be the best version of ourselves that we can be. And I want you to think about your world, your journey, how you view all of those things. How do you view your world? I feel like it is your world because it's like how you view it in your head, right? And, if I did not dust off those lenses and get a new set, like I would still be thinking I wasn't good enough. I'm never going to get there. I'm a terrible person because I can't be perfect. And so I want you to think about that. Like, are you viewing things in a way that's causing you to place judgment on others? Are you allowing your heart to open, or is it really closed off to other people? And there are so many others who were raised the same as me. This is like, I just want to leave a disclaimer in here because there are so many others who were raised just like I was, who I feel like had a very open heart, who had a much more open heart than I did. And so this is just my own personal journey with it. And if you can relate to this, that is what this is for. This is to speak to those of you who might be feeling the same. And it truly was not until I took the time to step back and decide, what did I believe in? What did I want to believe in? Not what I was taught to believe. And what I've come to find is what I believe in is that if we are good people and we raise our kids to be good people and we chase our dreams and we're happy in our lives and we're loving what we're doing and we're fulfilled, that's all that matters. And I don't think that people are going to go to hell if they drink a beer or have a margarita on a beach or whatever. I choose not to drink for my own personal reasons now. It is not because somebody told me I can't. It is because I choose not to. And so, if you really think about the decisions that you're making in your life, is it because you don't want to? Or is it because that's what you were taught? And so it's just really going back and thinking about the lens that you have on. Take a step back from that. And if you're constantly feeling like you're not good enough, you're not enough, you are quick to judge others, or maybe you're getting pressured to do things that don't feel good by family members. Like this was a huge one for me and I know my husband. And so just take a step back and think about the lens that you have on and ask yourself if you want to swap those out for a new pair. You are the driver of your life and you get to decide. And I love talking about this stuff because this has been a huge part of my healing journey. A lot of trauma has come from this. And now, as I've started peeling back those layers of healing for the journey that I am on, I am finding that a lot of my clients are also on the same healing journey. And it might be different things, but these are all ways that we were conditioned growing up. Our money mindset. Maybe it's church for you, and the way that you want to live your life doesn't align with how you were raised, but the way you were raised isn't feeling good anymore. The thoughts and beliefs of we're not good enough, we are not enough, all these thoughts that stem from the way that we were conditioned. And so it's just really exciting and so fun for me to be able to dive into that within myself and to find my triggers. And I absolutely love helping my clients do this. And this is why I'm now working on my trauma certification. I'm a few weeks in. This has been an amazing journey. And I'm just so excited to have more tools in my tool belt to be able to help you heal your own life, your own journey, and really dive into what you want. Not what you want based off of somebody else's opinion, but what deep down inside you truly want. So if this is something, if this resonated with you, or if you're just struggling or feeling stuck in your life, and you know that there are those layers of trauma, of feeling like you're not good enough, of not believing in yourself, let's dive into that. You can book a free clarity call with me. And you guys, I'm here to tell you, I am a non-pressure coach. We're going to get on and we're going to have a conversation about where you're at in your life, where you want to be, how you can get there. I'm going to give you some tips and tricks. And whether you were to choose to work with me or not, I am so happy to help you have that breakthrough on that call or to gain a new awareness about yourself so that you can begin moving forward. I am very much a no pressure person because I don't like being pressured into things I don't want to do. And I've experienced some of that the last few months and it feels terrible. But if you're feeling like you're ready to change your life and you've got some things that you want to heal from, book a free clarity call with me. I'll drop the link in the show notes and I will talk to you later.